Hey, good morning, all. Glad to be back. So glad to be back. Hope you had an awesome vacation. If you just hung around the house, that's great too. Sometimes those are the best vacations because it kind of slows time down a little bit. I got out of town for a little bit. I actually went to Arizona for a couple of hours to watch our baseball team play, and they won. I think they were either 3 or 4-1 on their spring break trip down in Phoenix. So that's pretty awesome. It was fun to see them, play, and of course our very own Mr. Jones coaching his team. So pretty awesome. That was a real treat. All right, let's get after the week here. Couple of things here. We've got. I'm going to jump to the end of the calendar, then we'll go back. So obviously, this Friday is Good Friday, and so we do not have school. Thursday is praise and worship. We'll have 3 or 4 songs by our praise and worship team. And then we're going to mix in some prayer and some Bible verses. And it's going to have, obviously, very much a Good Friday Easter focus. Okay? A couple of student shadows, one tomorrow, one on Wednesday. And so you notice I'm going backwards up the calendar. So then Monday, today, I'm going to run our eligibility report. I'll probably be speaking with some of our students that might need a little boost, a little support. So anyway, that's going to happen today. So again, review. Monday, today, eligibility report, student shadow Tuesday, student shadow Wednesday. Got a parent preview night Wednesday night, which is really fun. Chapel will have a Good Friday focus, and then Friday is Good Friday. By the way, I highly recommend. I just found out our church has a Friday evening service, so looking forward to that. A couple of calendar things not in this immediate view here. Well, here's your cleanup crew group: Tobin, Austin, Bailey, Wallace, Brody, Hunter, and Dylan. So that's our cleanup crew. So you guys just stay around, grab all the rags and sponges and stuff, and put those back. Okay. So one thing is our rock climbing club it begins this Thursday, and you can email Mrs. Mulder in the high school if you'd like some more information. But it meets at Movement in Englewood. Again, starting this Thursday from 4 to 5, and runs through that third week of May. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that's happening that is become sort of an annual thing for us, and that is our 4th through 12th graders go and actually out in sort of left center field, on the field, and sing the national anthem. It is awesome. It's really, really cool. It's June 10, Saturday, June 10 at 1. Should be a beautiful day. So it's on our main homepage. If you go under activities, national anthem, and then you kind of scroll to the bottom, and you can sign up there. So that's going to be great, and it is great. I've been there a couple times when the students have sang, and it's just awesome. You'll see this new page that just popped up here. Those are end of year details. So this is just kind of an overview of basically the next, 53 days and some highlights. So I'm in the process of updating this. This kind of changes from not day to day, but it changes as I get new information, as new things pop up and different things like that. The immediate things are the middle school tailgate outside on the 20th, and then the 21st, so the day after, on that Friday, is the middle school dodgeball tournament and movie night. And by the way, I'm going to talk to Salt, get some ideas of like 4 or 5 movies, and then I'll send out a Google form for you all to vote. Okay? All right. I believe, I'm just checking everything here. Oh, one last thing, sorry. Checkpoint, the new session is open, starts tomorrow. So anyway, if you, obviously it's a club, so go under clubs, Checkpoint, and then you go here, you click here to register. You can always talk to Mrs. Rudy in the hall, and she'll get you some details on that. But I know it has impacted students for the positive, just in amazing ways. And so I would encourage you to do that. It's a great way to say, I got to stay ahead of my studies, so especially with 8th grade. So when my finals roll around, I'm not like trying to dig out of a hole. Like I've maintained and I've got these good study skills that are going to help really prep me for finals. That's for 8th grade. Okay. I believe, let me just double check my notes. Yep, I'm good. Okay. Church was really good. Really, really good. It was powerful. It was meaningful, and it's one of those things. So, quick side topic. It's one of those things that, I mean, I love going to church. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love each Sunday. But there's every once in a while, there's a sermon, there's a feeling that reminds me of why I go to church. The feeling in the air, the community, the looking around and being a part of someone's community, that I don't know and they don't know me. Being a part of someone's community that I do know and that they do know me, or our kids are friends, and so I kind of know them that way. But yesterday was a reminder of why church is so powerful and why I continue to tell you to go to church. And I was convicted on why it is so important that you go to church. It was such a powerful day. And of course, what makes it more powerful is the message, right? And just being in the community. But the message is obviously, right, this is the Easter season. And the Easter season is powerful. Christmas is amazing, right? Talks about the birth of Jesus, and that's really important. But Easter it's Jesus's death. It's Jesus's death. And that is a powerful thing, right? It's the death and then the resurrection. And so to be in a church and talk about Jesus dying for you, dying for me, dying for your teachers, and then rolling the stone away and just rising from the dead. I mean, think about that. For us, for just us, right? And one of the themes here is, and that I took, so Jesus rides into Jerusalem on a donkey. And let's be honest, Jesus could have chosen anything he wanted to ride on. He could have chosen a giant white horse, right? That in these times was the sign of conquering, and here I am to take over this place. He could have ridden just on a regular horse, but he allowed himself to be on a donkey, to walk into, or to have this donkey walk into this town. And that's just humility, right? He allowed himself to be taken into this town on a donkey, and then he allowed himself to be crucified, right, on the cross. So a big king that's conquering a town, they're going to ride in on a big giant horse that just says, here I am, I'm taking over this place. He does not. The ultimate in humility, he says, he comes in on a donkey. But even coming in on a donkey in the most humble way, he is still saying, here I am. I'm the king. I'm the king God promised you. I am your king. And your king, not just the people of that town, but you sitting there in that chair. You 8th grader, 7th grader, 6th grader, family member. But generally speaking, that, you know, if someone were to ride in on a donkey, no one would really give it two thoughts, right? You wouldn't think about it much. But Jesus came in on a donkey in the most humble way and absolutely rocked that place. He shook the earth. He shook the place. Like it says in verse 10, in Matthew 21, verse 10. Where am I? When Jesus entered Jerusalem, the whole city was stirred and asked, "Who is this?" The crowds answered, "This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee." Right? So he walked in and boom. So finally, if Jesus walks in and shakes this up, Jesus came to town. He came into our lives not to maintain, not to keep things the way they are, not for us to keep doing the same things that we're doing, but to shake things up, to thunder, a thunderous entry. So, and then finally, when Jesus took his last breath, the whole earth shook again. And 3 days later, the stone is rolled away, and boom, the earth was shaken and stirred again for you and me. So Jesus is asking, how are you going to live your life? Whether it's on your phones, in person, in the mall, wherever you are, on your team, are you going to live as a sign that Jesus has shaken things up and is going to do something, and you're going to do it differently? You're not going to conform. You're going to do it differently. That's my challenge to you. Are you going to live like Jesus shook this place and said, we need to be different? That's my challenge to you and me. So anyway, blessings. Love y'all. We'll see you in the halls. Bye.